Hey guys, my name's Steph. I'm Botanist Cool. Today, I'm here to play the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles with our Ace Attorney expert, Katie. Make sure to update me on the audio, guys. I'm pretty sure the audio should be good, but once again, Hey Chip, how you doing, bud? I do not remember where we left off. I feel like that's gonna screw me over. It is good? Hell yeah. Oh god, these two. Fuck.
Well, it is Valentine's Day, Steph. It's only appropriate.
Yeah, it is appropriate to do these two. Oh my god. The amount of lovey-dovey these two are in is just disgusting. It was our their wedding, right? Okay, let's just press
Wedding
them.
anniversary.
Yeah, they're married. That's disgusting. Who gets married nowadays?
They're in their honeymoon phase a year later, so, you know, good for them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Her eyes are still sparkling like pure love. Has never seen it. There's never been a pure love in any game or
Their
media.
love is very pure, and they're adorable.
They are adorable. Yes, I will still dunk on them. I really don't like those two, and I think there are 3 reasons why I hate this case. Oh no! Tell me the reasons after we finish this case, all right? Hold it. All right. So what have we got saying here? No time to change after work, you say? Are you also a member of the police, Mrs. Beat?
Oh no, sadly not. It's a job for strapping young men only. Women, children, and the elderly can't... Excuse me.
You're good.
Women, children, and the elderly can't even apply.
Well, I think you can probably see why children and the elderly can't do the job, can't you?
I think Raleigh looks ever so handsome in his uniform. It suits you down the ground, doesn't it, darling?
What voice did I give him?
Like, kinda like...
Ah, I just finished my beat. Pat and I were headed back to the station, and I was actually planning on getting changed there. Is he talking in his sleep? This is creepy. One is those two. I don't hate them that much, I'll be honest. They're fine. I just dunk on them.
Oh no, Raleigh, I much prefer you in uniform.
I don't think we're allowed to talk about that on this stream.
What?
Her preferring him in uniform.
Sometimes I don't recognize you when I see you in plain clothes.
Oh, that's a big F, but actually it's also a fucking mood.
Oh dear, that doesn't seem healthy.
Hold here to the point. You were going for a meal after you finished your beat for the day, correct? That's right, sir, yes. Although, I was fit to drop, to be honest, after spending the whole day on my feet. But police is my life, sir. As long as I'm the proud owner of this, I serve my city and my queen to the end. What's that now? My warrant card, sir. Proof that I'm a London copper. It has the noble founding principles of the force, written as a reminder of all policemen of our sworn duty. To patrol the streets of London, uptown, and uphold the peace of the common man. I actually showed Elijah my accents. When I go to Elijah, like, I'm not gonna tell you who these are, but like, here are my accents I have for these people. And I'm like, here's Herlock, here's a random Twinkie, you know, kind of British man. And he's just like, I'm surprised you just didn't try to do my voice. I'm surprised you didn't just do my voice, Elijah goes, and I'm like, I don't know if I can get your voice out. So then I tried, I'm like, I can't get your voice down. It's the wildest thing.
Yeah, you keep calling me good at voice acting stuff, but honestly, you have a good range. I'm just like, the second I have to do an accent, it's like they're all the same voice. I don't know how to differentiate them, help me.
It got some mood. I think I just have a little bit of an up because like so much DMing. Comparatively.
Yeah.
Where I've had to make new voices for like every goddamn person. I'll have like 3 NPCs in one scene. It's like, yes, it's I NPC 1 and it's I NPC 2. It's I. You can't have that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I need to get better at it, honestly.
You'll get it. It takes time. I had like 12 years of time to do it.
Doesn't help that my mic probably isn't that good either. But
To patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man. Sir, and for that noble cause, I cover 20 miles every single day without fail and without a grumble. Because I know— oh my god, stop hitting your head. You're gonna knock yourself out. You're already sleepy, buddy.
it's to wake himself up.
Oh, fair enough. It's hard, but in this case, but it's hard to remember. Ah, okay, gotcha.
Let me see. I think the only thing I didn't like about this case, really, I think, was some of the comments during the last dance of deduction towards the woman's weight. I was kind of like, all right.
That's valid, yeah.
But like, that's about it that I can think of. I think these two are cute, honestly.
They're cute, but I will dunk on them. Listen, I will dunk on them like no tomorrow, but they are cute. Yeah, I'll agree with you. Because I know that the plodding of my boots is all the Londoners need to hear to feel safe and secure. So, fighting crime doesn't appear to come into it then, huh? But sir, just a moment ago today I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Mrs. Beats put up a lot, being married to a bobby like me. I wanted to show my dear wife how much I care. Their eyes are fucking sparkling. You can barely see his, but all you can see is that they're fucking sparkling. Oh my god. He's truly in love.
They're so cute.
Oh, Pat.
Oh, Rolly. Oh, what a charming couple. Their young love is such a joy to behold.
Aren't you young? If a little over the top, perhaps. And then, call the show what happened next. Young love. I do have to see how old these two are. Present. How do I see people again?
Good question.
Press Q, options. D space examine. Nope. Do we not have? Yeah,
we
we
should have profiles. We've
checked the
seen
knife,
them
yeah.
before. I can't.
No! Oops. I didn't do anything. Yep. Yeah, we checked the knife a little while ago. That was our first thing we checked, actually. Maybe we don't have profiles yet in this case? I don't know.
We have to have profile. Can you press like up or down or something?
No, I can't.
How to check profiles on PC. The Great Ace Attorney.
I'm literally pressing every button except for R. Alright, I'm just gonna continue on with this and we'll see what happens.
I can't find the thing, and I didn't play like on PC, so.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. So they're 23 and 21. Oh my god. Well, it should tell you. It should tell me. I got off before them because I was very sleepy. Valid. Oh yeah. And then olive green mystery. But yeah, okay. So they're in their early 20s, and I'm like, okay. I guess I'm just fucking old. I'm the age of Soseki Natsume, basically. I'm just that's not how the world sees me. I'm almost the age of Herlock Schlubs. I hope they see me more like Herlock. I'm close to the age of Baron. Wait, time out. Herlock Handsome, strapping young man. Baron von Zeeks is 32, but looks like he's in his 50s. But like a young, strapping 50s, you know what I'm saying?
It's the silly gene that keeps you young.
It's the silly gene that keeps you young, yeah. Two silhouettes?
That's right. They were coming towards us, walking up Briar Road in the opposite direction. There was a rather plump figure followed by a scrawny, thin-looking man. That does sound exactly like the victim as pictured in this print, and like Mr. Natsume.
Yeah, unfortunately it does. And you're certain that at the time there was nobody else nearby?
Oh yes, quite certain. It was dark, but there are streetlights on Briar Road, you see. There's nobody else around at all. Isn't that right, my darling?
Huh? What? Yes, that's right, of course. There was a light fog on the ground. But Briar Road is dead straight and you can see a fairly long way down the pavement. And there's the street lighting as well. I didn't see any other pedestrians. Before the sleep takes a firm hold, your answer, please, Mr. Beat! Are you quite sure of what you just said? You forgot to give him that voice. I forgot you gave yeah, I forgot I gave him the Dracula voice. Yes, as a... God, she's looking at him so...
He's so dashing.
As a cop who spends all day, every day, watching the streets, I'd swear to it, sir. And as sure as my love for Patricia is true. Oh, Pat.
Oh, Rolly.
Oh, brother. They're still maintaining that there's no one else other than the victim and the attacker. It started to seem like that must be how it really happened.
It's beginning to seem like there's nowhere to run.
The worst part is, I was like, it was beginning to look a lot like Christmas. That's what I had in my hand.
We're like 1 month forward of the farthest we could possibly be from Christmas.
Well, that didn't stop Mr. Natsume, did it? He fled the scene all too convincingly. Thank you. I believe we have a reasonably clear idea of the situation that existed before. What happened to the crucial moments that followed? Scattered something. What do you mean by that?
Oh well, I couldn't quite make out what it was at the time. But when we got closer, we realized what it was. Didn't we, darling?
What? Yes, that's right. There was some old books. I see, old books. Yes, sir! The culprit dropped a number of them, all around where the victim lay on the pavement. Indeed, it's clearly pictured in the photographic print.
That rotten Japanese man did that when he did the deed.
There's another reason why I don't like her. She just pulls a scarf. Yeah, she's just trying to wake up. She just keeps pulling this. Yeah. Let's not forget that it remains to be established that the defendant was indeed the attacker. But we saw him. It was the man in the dock without question, sir. The mustache, the hunchback, the cat-like, the taunt mouth, the stub nose, everything. Any more insults you want to throw in? Any more casual racism you just want to throw in, buddy? Do you want to say squinted eyes?
I mean, I don't know if it squinted. He does have those eyes. He do have those eyes, though. I don't know what you'd call them, but he do have those eyes.
Those eyes that don't have pupils, but rather have hypnotic swirls continuously going around in them. I saw them. It was like the Sharingan, but it was actually just hypnosis. That's why I'm so sleepy.
He looked down at that poor defenseless woman with those terrifying, intense eyes.
Terrifying? Are we talking about the same man here? Hold on.
He is scary sometimes, though. He do be scary sometimes, though.
Okay.
Not because of how he looks, just his general presence.
He's just scary, so he's a little scary sometimes. Okay. Kind of does look a little like Edgar Allan Poe, actually.
And then suddenly threw his books onto the pavement and ran away.
I see. This is tough. You seem as though they're telling the truth here. May I remind the court that this unambiguous testimony comes from a policeman and his wife. Now please continue. Yes! They just like do like a fucking Clodsire thing, like a Wobbuffet thing. Ah, Buffett! Was it your husband who went to fetch help?
Oh no, I went. I may not be a police officer myself, but I am the proud wife of one after all. Isn't that right, my darling?
What? Ah, yes, that's right. I asked Mrs. Beat to go. I was off duty at that point. But a Bobby's never truly off duty, of course, so I felt obligated to stay and guard the scene. Very little, Mr. Beat, preserving the scene of a crime and task of considerable importance. Now, legitimate question, Mr. Beat, were you sleeping that entire time you were guarding the scene out of pure curiosity?
A man as honorable as him sleeping on the job stuff? Why, I've never heard of such a thing.
That's why I sent Patricia, you see. I told her where to find the right police box. Forgive my ignorance, but what do you mean exactly by the right police box? I asked her to go so I could investigate. That's a typical D&D campaign. Depends on the crime's location, you see, as to who deals with it. Where the woman was stabbed wasn't actually on my beat. So I told Patricia the way to the police box for the beat the incident fell under so she could go and report it.
I ran there as quickly as I could and asked for help from the Bobby on duty. There's nothing more potent than a couple in love working together, you know. What did my voice do there? I have no idea.
And thanks to your swift response, the case was quickly resolved. The actions of two model citizens.
Oh, please, you're making us blush. Isn't he, darling?
Yes, sir! What Patricia said, sir! Let's move on, shall we? Wait, she said it's clear as day. It was night! Contradiction! Objection! Just let the man sleep. I know, right? Let the man sleep. He deserves a little bit of sleep. I feel bad for him.
He's just making sure he doesn't fall over.
Yeah, fair enough. It's like, you know how they have in like parades where they gotta guide the balloon by holding on wires and shit? That's what she's doing. She's just guiding the balloon that's like floating in the air. But surely you would have been able to see his face by the light of the gas street lamps, would you?
We absolutely could. Us Londoners have exceptional eyesight, I'll have you know.
Oh, poor guy. Right.
The light from the street lamps was more than enough. And my husband already told you that the fog was only light, didn't he?
Yeah, and what of the fog? Well, from this point across the globe, I believe. It's absolute menace to those of us who have to live with it, of course. He's gonna stab his neck.
Oh, it is, it is. When it's thick, you can't even see the hand at the end of your own arm.
Yes, alright, I take your point. Now, could you stop shaking your husband about?
The constant fog makes our eyes very sharp, you see.
I don't think that's how it works.
That's why we can tell you for sure and certain that was that little Japanese man we saw. Can't we, darling?
It was the accused and no mistake. The mustache, the hunchback, the cat-like eyes, the top mouth, the sun. Unmistakable, sir! As far as this couple's testimony is concerned, there can't be any question. It was Soseki-san they saw running away from the scene of the crime. Yes, a 5'6" man is little. I don't think that's his height though. So that's it, is it? That's their entire testimony?
What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo?
Well, I hate to admit it, but on hearing the testimony, it really does seem as though Mr. and Mrs. Beats saw what they saw. We should not be running from the scene of the crime on Briar Road that day.
Yes, I feel the same.
So if that's true, where does it leave us?
Members of the jury are sure to call for a guilty verdict after this testimony.
Oh no, then what do we do?
If Kazuma-sama were here,
What are you trying to say?
I think he would try to find a contradiction somewhere else within their testimony.
What do you mean somewhere else?
Her statements about seeing Mr. Natsume is unequivocal. Calling that into question won't help. But if you could identify some other part of their testimony which appears to contradict the facts, you might be able to discredit them, to make the jury doubt if the pair's memory of the day is accurate.
All right. Time to go back and see any changes. God damn it.
Put simply, we must focus on finding a discrepancy in these statements somewhere. If we don't, I'm afraid the trial may reach an early and unfavorable conclusion.
Well, I always seem to be up against it.
Mr. Lawyer, sir, can I ask you something?
Oh, yes, of course. What is it?
Well, you keep asking us all these questions about everything we've told you, so... It seems like you don't believe our testimony. Is that right? Is it? Well, out with it.
He's not a Gundam he can pilot. What? No. No, it's really not that at all.
My husband's a policeman, remember?
Not a
and I know what I
Gundam!
saw. I remember every last detail, everything, like... Oh, I know. What about the book man dropped? I could tell you the names of every single one I could. Every single one. And you dare to question how reliable my testimony is?
Tell me the names of every single one, then. That will do, Mrs. Reed.
No, it won't do at all. That Japanese lawyer has no idea what I'm capable of. Even if I decide to forgive him for insulting us, don't think for a minute that Volley will.
I really didn't mean to cause offense. Please put your husband's fist on. He's not a goddamn Gundam. Perhaps you'd like the opportunity to supplement your testimony, Mrs. Reed. Might that appease you? Pulls out a knife.
Oh, thank you, my lord. That would settle things nicely. Wouldn't it, darling? I could even tell you the names of the 4 books he dropped at the scene.
Contradiction! He took out 3. Anyways, let's see what she says about it. I'm curious. Yes, we know that there were books dropped at the scene of the crime, as you say. Those purchased by the accused at the nearby second-hand bookshop on the day in question.
After I'd been to the police box for help, I decided to have a good look over the area for good measure. I'm a proud policeman's wife, after all. I did it for Rolly.
And what was your husband doing at the time?
Oh, he was lying face down in the snow, getting some well-deserved rest.
Oh my god, he fucking died!
He works ever so hard, you know, ever so hard. Don't you, my darling?
Interesting way of guarding the scene of the crime. Oh, this is the recollection. Would you want to recount the titles of the books you observed this year?
I'd be happy to. Now, are you all listening? There was the picture of Monsieur somebody or other, and What's It Yearnings?
You know, that sounds like actual titles there, huh? Fuck. Picture of Monsieur, a meal of Gambaro and Canterbury Yearnings. Fuck!
Then there was a meal for someone, and the last one was definitely the Thingummy something. You see?
Yeah, see, there's one or two holes in your memory.
Oh well, they were along those lines, I'm quite sure.
Do you have the full names? Nope. Some rest, blood spilling out of his leg. There are indeed books found at the scene with the titles along those lines as you put it.
Well, what did I tell you? So I think it's very mean the way you've been implying that my testimony can't be trusted. Don't you agree, darling?
Oh my god, just brings out a fucking gun in court! Oh my god! Oh my god! He's just like, I'm gonna fucking shoot this attorney real quick. He legitimately, she did the pull. She did the right pull. Bam, bam, bam! This is America, bitch. Let's go. Oh, Jesus Christ. I forgot he did that.
Me too, 100%.
You know what the worst part is? He has his finger on the fucking trigger already. That's not proper gun safety, guys. I have shotguns. That's not proper gun safety. Oh. Anyone who upsets my Patricia will have me to answer to. Why? You still have it in your hands. No, put it back in its holster. Don't fucking drop it on the ground. It fucking falls to the ground. Boom, 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 boom. Shoots off everywhere. Fucking hits his own leg. Terrifying. Yeah, she really is. That's okay. Okay. Come on. I can't believe you just straight up pulled a gun out on us. Like, quality A simp right there. Or quality A husband, you know, you do you. Objection. So you're saying that there were 4 books?
That's right, I remember all of them. The picture of Monsieur somebody, What's It Yearnings, a meal for someone, and Thingummy something.
Thingummy something. I'm sorry, Mrs. Beat. But there's a fundamental flaw in that statement of yours.
Oh no, what? What flaw?
Simply that at the scene of the crime, there were only 3 books, not 4.
What?
This is the receipt from the bookshop where the defendant bought his books.
Your books?
No, the defendant's books, not my books, the defendant's books. And it deals with not somebody's purchases that day. The name that's awful? Wait. The names of the Rolly and Pat? What? Wait.
Patrol.
Patrol! You're patrolling the beat! He's patrolling the beat! Oh my god, that's brilliant! Patrol, yeah, and then the last name being beat, you patrol the beat. Oh my god. That's so good! That's so good!
AA coming in clutch with those good pun names. Some of them are just like, you don't even get them until you start speaking them out. Like, I did not get your books until I did this playthrough.
Mm-hmm. No, they're not my books. They're Natsume's books. But as you can see, only 3 books are listed.
Only 3? But no, that can't be. I remember seeing them. There were 4 books, I tell you. 4 dirty old books.
He's not a Gundam, lady. Oh, really?
Rolly, power up. We shall defeat that strange man.
She's a fucking stand user and Rolly's just her stand. She's fucking JoJo, baby. Let's go. Have a good look at this photographic print of the scene of the crime. As you can clearly see from this evidence as well, there are only 3 books. This is every shot.
I just don't believe it. I saw them there. I swear it. I saw them.
No, madame, I am afraid your powers of observation cannot be relied upon. So it cannot be denied that though you say it was the defendant you saw, you could very well be mistaken.
Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no! Oh no!
Objection!
It's painfully evident. Get that popcorn. That it is your power of deduction that cannot be relied upon, my Nipponese friend. What? What cannot be denied is that these 2 witnesses saw the accused running from the scene. A fact that you know very well you have no hope of disproving. Ugh. So you've striven to avert the attention from that by dint of some inconsequential discrepancies. Would that be fair? He sees right through me. But your plan has somewhat recoiled against you. What are you talking about? It's quite simple. Let me explain with a toast. To the policeman's wife and her entirely accurate testimony in every respect.
Oh.
You see, the matter is not up for debate. At the scene of Briar Road, a total of 4 books were most definitely found.
Objection!
But what about the photographic print? It shows only 3 books. That's quite right. Only 3 books can be seen in that print. That print? You mean to say... Not again, don't waste a wine. Allow me to present another! One that shows the victim's hand. I don't believe it. It's the 4th book! As you will observe. The 4th book was hidden from view in the original print by the victim's torso. No! No! Wait, their fucking scarves are connected. I just noticed that. Oh, Lord.
There, you see, look at that. Look.
Yes.
It's just like I said, isn't it, my darling?
Pew, 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 get down! Yes,
Where'd the gun go? It's gone.
Yes! Where'd he put the gun? God damn it. Now I need to know. Yes, sir! Patricia's always right, sir. Let us study the receipt for the books purchased by the accused on the day in question. Mrs. B, the titles once again, if you please.
Oh yes, of course. The picture of Monsieur somebody or other.
The picture of Monsieur Lecroix.
What's it, yearnings?
Canterbury Yearnings.
A meal for someone.
A meal for Gabrois, in fact. As the court has heard, the witness remembers that books
Flawlessly.
As I can't take that seriously. As the court has heard, the witness remembers the book's titles flawlessly, save for a few minor details. Mrs. Beats' power of recollection can only be described as exceptional.
Did you hear that, Raleigh? The gentleman paid me a compliment.
Yes, sir. Flawless, sir. Patricia is flawless. But there's only 3 books on the receipt, and Mrs. Beats mentioned 4. There's nothing surprising about that. Clearly the 4th book is of which it is shown in the photographic print. I'm sorry, Consul, but does seem odd. Why should the 4th book be omitted from the receipt? It's not all at all, my lord. It says the
Lion's Pride.
Wasn't that the book that, yeah, first off, that book is burned. And wasn't that the one from upstairs? The one that, what's his name was talking about? As the photograph clearly shows, the 4th book was found in the victim's clutches. That's the moon dude? Moon dude? Oh, the book dude, yeah. In other words, it belongs to the victim. The victim was holding her own book?
I wonder what became of that 4th book.
Obviously, it wasn't overlooked by the investigating officers at Scotland Yard. I have it here as evidence. Just submit that and I'll permit your photographer to the court, please, Consul. My pleasure, my lord. We're gonna look at that book tomorrow. The prosecution, the rest. To the coffin I go! Wow.
Let me see. It's a book entitled The Lion's Pride.
I'm afraid I don't know any English literature at all. So, would it be something I've heard? Wait a minute. The Lion's Pride? That's strange. I think I've heard that. I've heard of a book by that name before, and very recently too.
It's a title I recognize too, Mr. Naruhodo.
I wonder what could be important here.
A mystery.
It's a mystery! Ooh! Floating book! How can the book float like this?
Oh, look at this. The book has been badly burnt.
You're right. You'd never be able to read it in this state, especially not the latter pages.
What a terrible waste. Judging from the scorched edges of the paper, I think the damage must have occurred very recently.
A book. Recently damaged by fire. Why does it seem to raise a red flag with me? Yeah. There's nothing odd about this at all, guys. Nothing at all. This is just, normal, everyday stuff. There was no fire that we know of recently. I have nothing further to add. What? You seem surprised, my learned friend. But your resistance until now has been in vain.
There is no way that you have suddenly gotten your hands on some evidence that could turn the entire case around.
My attack is irrefutable. There is nothing you do to burn it to the ground. Entertaining, yes, but futile. The spurious long route of the accuser's lodgings that you tried to establish in your summation examination, and the attempted discrediting of the witness's powers of recollection in your cross-examination. I walked right into this, didn't I?
You see, everything we've said is true. Isn't that right, my darling?
Gun. No. Yes, Pat! Marry me, Pat! So, perhaps the ladies and gentlemen of the jury would like to reconsider their positions. Pulls that across. Should the court waste any more time on this Nipponese travesty? Or is the decision you have to make all too apparent already? You have heard all the witnesses and seen all of the evidence. The trial has run its course.
Mr. Naruhodo, I'm afraid we are in a terribly precarious position.
I know, but if I fight back in the wrong way now, I could very well make matters worse. So let's save just in case. Think, Renosuke, think. What do you do now? Raise an objection.
Objection.
I'm not done yet. No, my learned friend, it's over. At last, cross-examination was your final chance to establish a credible defense, and you failed. The die has been cast. There is no more room for debate. Well, it might be over as far as you're concerned, but, can't think of what to say.
If I may, Lord Van Zykes. It seems somewhat boorish to close down the debate at this point.
Your insignificant little eastern island must be a lawless hole indeed. For lowly judicial assistant to have the audacity to intervene at the moment like this.
Oh,
I am, to my shame, still a very inexperienced lawyer. So you will have to forgive me, but I consider my assistant's advice essential and her opinions invaluable.
Mr. Naruhodo.
One of this law's greatest guiding principles is tolerance. So, court will hear you, madame.
Go ahead, Mr. Sato, please. Very well. Pray, what insight can you give us? What have we all overlooked in the matter that you see fit to pursue further? Tell me, Susato, what do you see with those elven eyes?
Well, the court has been presented with new evidence, but only after the last cross-examination finished.
I see. And you believe this new evidence warrants further examination, do you?
Mr. Naruhodo, what do you think?
Nah.
It's just possible that this new evidence might be the decisive proof we've been waiting for.
Nah.
But probably not.
Probably not.
Judge is sure to ask the members of the jury to announce their leanings in a moment. And of course, he's sure to ask you to explain what the crucial piece of evidence is and why. So we must take this opportunity to examine the newly presented evidence as thoroughly as possible.
Yes, I understand, and thank you, Mrs. Sato. This is it! Susato-san has managed to win us one last chance here. I can't let it go to waste. The defense wishes to present evidence, my lord. He looks so pissed.
Very well. The defense has present one further piece of evidence. Evidence of apparently offers a profound insight into the case and has very widely overlooked.
Take that!
The evidence in question is what we can see from the newly presented photographic print of the crime scene. The fourth book found in the victim's hand.
Objection!
We have already discussed the fourth book at length. Other than it being in the victim's grasp at the time of the incident, no significance has been attached to it. Pursuing the matter further would be a flagrant waste of the court's time, as you will know.
Yes, I'm afraid, counsel, I must concur with the prosecution in this matter. And I afford you this opportunity to alert the court to believe that the evidence in the question contained in the discovered clue. Go on, Mr. Session, you elaborate, counsel. We identify the clue at once. Do I mistake what you are so clear?
Oh, yes, my lord. It's,
Mr. Naruhodo, I believe the prosecution is trying to avoid a thorough examination of the evidence. Which means you may very well be on the right track. What could it be? It's a mystery.
Yes, I think you're right.
So, Counsel. Firstly, where is the final clue to this case which led to the fourth focus shows?
I wonder what it is. Why am I doing Dracula's voice right now? It's just such an addicting voice to do. I kid you not, I could probably do this all day long. Damn it! Alright.
Got it!
Got it! I would ask the court to observe the back of the book in question.
The back? What is it? Oh, goodness gracious! Is it good focus?
So we have to ask ourselves, why was the victim clutching what is clearly an unreadable book? It is undeniably an extremely unnatural thing for her to have been doing.
Objection!
Her dress is cute. It's patchwork. It's like patchy. I like that. It's cute. Unnatural, you say? And what of it, my Nipponese friend? Oh. Were I to concede the point, if it bears no relation to the case, there is nothing to discuss. So, did you wish to assert that the fire damages some veiled clue as to what happened that day? Pray, do enlighten us all. What truth does this charred book hide? A charred book. Just one possibility here, which I can't quite bring myself to rule out. It's an outside chance, certainly, but worth a try. Alright, I'll explain my theory.
Don't give us wait any longer, Counsel. Explain your theory yours. What are you suggesting that you can sustain from the fire damage and the sorry trauma suffered?
My lord, the burn on the back of the book reveals startling truth about the book's owner.
I beg your pardon!
But we already know who the book belongs to. The victim was gripping it in her hand as she fell to the floor, after all. It's obviously hers.
The question of how this book came into the victim's hand is yet to be answered. However, as to the question of who the book really belongs to and where it originated, the defense has very credible answers.
Good gracious, what is possible?
Very well. I'll play along with this futile attempt to delay your inevitable demise. But do remember, I will murder Soseki-san when I get the chance, even if you wait. I mean, the members of the jury may well burn you for your little gamble goes awry.
Counsel, the defense's response here is very likely to reflect the final outcome of this trial. So tell the court, who do you claim is the owner of this burnt book?
Take that!
The answer is that book belongs to the couple who owns the house where the defendant has his lodgings. A certain Mr. and Mrs. Garadem, the landlords. And whether this is some extraordinary coincidence or some kind of fate at work, I don't know. But of all the people in London, one of the 6 chosen for jury duty in this courtroom today is none other than Mrs. Garadem herself.
Oh my goodness me. I think you must be mistaken, sir. I'm not Mr. Garadeb's wife. I'm his maid.
Yeah, things would be so much easier if you would just drop the pretense. Alright then, how about a simple question for you? Have you ever seen this book in Mr. Garadeb's house?
I would never presume to know all the books he keeps, sir.
Objection!
This is outlandish behavior. The woman is the accused's landlady, you say. You implicate the hard-working member of the public. You besmirch her without the thread of evidence. Your actions are unforgivable. This is no mere conjecture. The defense happens to know that on the day in question, at almost exactly the same time the victim was stabbed on the pavement below, another incident was taking place in the room on the top floor of Mr. Garredeb's and Mrs. Garredeb's house.
Good lord, what sort of incident, Counsel?
A fire, my lord.
Ready to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. Worst of it is, I lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride.
The Lion's Pride.
Oh, Joe, it's very told something under the bird.
Oh dear me.
Objection!
This is reasonable. All you have told according to the book by the same name was involved in the fire. In which case it would be reasonable to assume that it was burnt to ashes. And entirely unreasonable to infer that it magically removed itself from the scene of the crime. Perhaps it would make more sense if I told you that the cause of the fire was marital discord. Without going into details, it appears that Mrs. Garredeb was considerably enraged. Apparently, she continued to attack Mr. Garredeb even amid the flames.
Oh, how awful. I can't even imagine being so horrid to the one you love. Can you, Rolly?
Damn. Absolutely not, sir. My Patricia would never raise a finger against me, sir. A flashback to the wedding or some shit. Come on.
Had my favorite novels out in that case. But as soon as the fire got a hold of them, that was it. Whoosh, up in smoke. Then my wife started hurling things at me. There was I, back against the window under heavy enemy fire, incendiary books coming 10 to the... The man is back against the window and the many books fell over. Goodness gracious, are you suggesting the book was thrown through the window and Melania quit still at the scene of the crime?
Objection!
No! A thorough investigation of the surrounding area was conducted the very evening of the incident. And there's no report of the Garredeb's window pane being broken. That's quite true. We also saw no sign of broken glass when we visited the Garredeb's household. But is it not conceivable that the window was open at the timing? Not even remotely! Let us not forget the season and the chilling weather that accompanies it. No Londoner would even open a window in the middle of winter.
Does the defense postulate the scenario in all seriousness, Counsel? Do you earnestly claim that the book found at the scene of the crime was a flaming projectile thrown by Mr. Garredeb's wife?
Or something stolen? I believe it's a possibility, my lord. Oh, there you go.
Well, I hope that everyone can see you for what you are now, you foreign little trickster. I can't get her voice for some reason. You call yourself a lawyer, but you're just a coward, a mean coward.
Really?
Claiming that our little tiff had set the whole neighborhood alight, honestly. Implying that I'm merely posing as a maid for appearance's sake. How could you? It's nothing to do with this beastly case, not any of it. All you've done is sully our family's name.
No, I assure you that was never my intention.
Dragging an upstanding citizen's name through the mud, it's simply to divert attention from your failing defense. I should box your ears, that's what I should do. It's utterly unforgivable.
It's all right. There we go. How long have we sat here now listening to this Nipponese spouting on his fancy foreign theories? But think about it. At the end of the day, there's only one person who could possibly have stabbed the victim. That one little hunchback with a mustache as he ran away from the scene of the crime too.
I do declare you're right.
It's true.
Yes, what did I tell you?
Makes sense to me. Sorry, what's that? Oh. It would appear that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury are once again in full agreement. What is your position, Lord Von Zerks?
In truth, my lord,
I feel these have been unnecessary protracted proceedings. But then, one must always exercise patience in order to savor the best vintage. No! Wait! The mystery of the fourth book still hasn't been... If books are your predilection, my learned friend, study them on your own time. Foot. What? No forgiving this courtesy this time? Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. You will now state your individual decisions regarding the defendant's culpability to the court to hear.
Guilty. 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 Guilty.
Well, here we go again, boy.
Oh, we gotta do the whole thing again?
No, you just lost the case. Game over.
What? Thank you for that unambiguous response. That's twice now, it's over.
Mr. Naruhodo, don't give up.
Mr. Sato!
Have you forgotten? Battle isn't over yet.
You're not suggesting.
Of course, the defense has the right to another summation examination
Again?
at this point.
Oh shit, okay.
You could still convince the jurors to change their minds. You have one more chance.
Again? My lord, the defense asks to exercise its rights to summation examination. You believe you still have the tricks up your sleeve. I don't intend to trick anyone. I intend to uncover the truth. No time to be downcast. As long as there's a chance, I'll have to stay strong and determined. God, we have a lot of summation examinations, huh? God damn. How many summation examinations do we get?
You're allowed to do it every time they say guilty.
So how many guilties do we get?
Well, you see,
It's a lot, isn't it?
you're in racist Victorian England.
Yeah.
Is the thing.
We get 523 quintillion, 984 quadrillion,
It's-
473 trillion.
It's basically cross-examination part 2 electric boogaloo.
So many, let's go.
So fun though.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's so many mechanics in this game, it's great.
It is good, it is good. I've considered the first council of submission, and I have determined that the court must uphold the defense's judicial right for this procedure. So, counsel, you will now proceed with your second summation examination. I presume the jury's ready, Mr. Foreman. We are, my lord. Very good. In that case, I must ask each of you now to state clearly and consciously to the court the grounds for which you find the defendant guilty of this crime. God damn. The accused left behind evidence of the crime scene, didn't he? Those 3 books of his.
If there was some novel alternative explanation about how the victim was stabbed, I might reconsider.
She stabbed herself. If the woman was throwing books, that can't be related to the crime in the window closed, can it?
Dear me, it was only a little book. Hardly life-threatening, even with a direct hit.
Look, I just want to get this over with. If I don't bring home some pay tonight, I'll be in a tiny bit of trouble. Tiny bit of trouble. Oh, we got fired on a while ago. It gave me the sneezes. Certainly more tangible arguments. What tangible arguments? This one dude said he's guilty because I sneezed when there was fire.
But I already know the two that go together. Maybe I'll just see this. One notable exception. Okay, fair enough. The learned friend is unable to find fault in the previous witness testimony. So the court must accept the fact that it was indeed the accused seen fleeing from the scene. And moreover, no one else was even at the scene to commit the crime. Well, if the eyewitness is correct, it would seem as if the conclusion was somewhat set in stone. I fail to see how it could be argued any other way.
That means, I'm afraid, that during this summation examination, it's essential that you establish some other tangible explanation for the facts.
But how? What is considered a tangible explanation here? Isn't it obvious? Who stabbed the woman and how? Those two details are all you need to provide. Simply give us a name and a method by which the attack was conducted.
Thank you. That was...
Quick question, but can you do the two I think might be... you don't need to do it. I'm going to... Chip, no backseating, please. I will do what I see or what I vibe with, yeah? Then I was thinking it might be hard.
Yeah, I would say these games are totally very fun to play if you're able to.
Yeah.
But yeah. But Mr. Naruhodo, you have to do it, otherwise this really will be where the trial ends.
No pressure then, huh? I know I can press every was. I'm gonna do that. I presume you're prepared, Consul. All I need to do is prove that she was upstairs when the fight happened, she stole it, and then Mr. Gerardip stabbed her. Clearly, the key to this summation examination is going to be juror number 4, the maid. Or should I say, Mrs. Gerardip.
We have a book that disappeared from the Gerardeb's house on the evening of the incident. And the 4th book found in the victim's hand.
Must be a way to link the two. Yes! That is what we have to find. Every technique I've learned in my short career so far, whatever it takes.
Don't forget to keep an eye on Mrs. Gerardeb and how she reacts, even to the things other people say.
I said the same thing, so yeah. It's all good. You still see them in the back, Rolly and Pat. Let me see something real quick. I do want to check the knife just one more time. See if, like, Garrett Deb's name's on here or something. There's no name on it, okay. And the tip is broken off, which is just weird.
Hold it!
But as we know, there were 4 books, not 3. Well, what's the difference it makes? There's every possibility that the 4th book, in fact, belonged to the defendant's landlord. Yes! That's part of the problem I have with it. Sorry? Well, the point the woman was stabbed, this landlord fellow was at his home, wasn't he? Enjoying a fiery scrap with his wife or something, you said. Oh, that's how I put it? No. Learning at that point, the fellow and his wife were somewhere else when it happened.
I think that's what you call a strong alibi.
So could it have been the landlord who did it? Only leaves the Bonese fellow. Honestly, I can't see what all this problem is about. Done deal, isn't it? What's this? I have nothing left. What do you have to say? Yeah, I examined the tip of the knife. We did it last game. I could just check it again, but like... We did it last game. Yeah, we did this one before, yeah. Shit, I dropped some paint, Fuck, hold on. Look at that. So, I have some D&D paints I haven't used in a bit to make some models, but like I want to make those models, so I'll finish it.
Hold it!
So, you might be willing to change your decision, you mean?
Oh my, such delight on your face. But I'm afraid I shan't be swayed by emotion. Despite what you may think of me, I'm a very modern, metropolitan, and rational woman.
That's great.
If one reads the morning papers, it's all forgotten by tea time, isn't it? So I read them in the first place.
That's it. Yeah, get a metal detector.
You see, modern, metropolitan, and rational thinking, wouldn't you say?
No. And not at all extreme.
As I see it, an overwhelmingly suspicious Japanese man has been implicated by overwhelmingly strong testimony. So despite one or two minor puzzlements, I do declare that the man is overwhelmingly guilty. Modern, metropolitan, and rational logic, wouldn't you say?
Overwhelmingly.
Plus modern gals are always delighted to embrace new fads, you know. So I'd be only too happy to consider an exciting new theory if you could come up with one.
I'd be happy to do that too, if only I could.
Let's do our very best not to disappoint the modern metropolitan young lady.
Right, I'm glad you omitted rational there.
Hold it!
But what about the possibility that the window was open? What about it? I mean, there's just no way it could have been. How can you be sure? The prosecutor fella over there said it earlier, didn't he? Winters in London's no joke. You don't want to invite that sort of cold indoors. So no, the window wasn't open. Us Londoners like sitting by the fire and staying warm, see? But you couldn't categorically state that the window wasn't open, could you? It just wasn't. They wouldn't have opened it. And what's the point of even having windows, huh?
Cultural. You will call your referring for a childless brickery.
Oh, sorry. Somehow I need to show that there's an undeniable possibility the window was open. This young man isn't going to budge otherwise.
Hold it!
But the little book was on fire at the time, wasn't it?
With flames of love, I'll have you know.
There's really no such thing as loving incendiary bombs.
Well, he brought it about upon himself. It's playing with fire to betray a fiery love. Isn't it? Well, don't you agree?
Well, any kind of betrayal is certainly a bad thing, yes. But I think the argument might have arisen out of your misunderstanding, Mrs. Garrett.
Never you mind that. The important thing is that we were having a jovial little dispute, nothing more.
Love, yeah, quotation marks. You keep painting the two next to you.
I won't have any more of these suggestions there was anything whatsoever to do with this crime.
Right, well, we'll see about that. What about juror number 5? Doesn't seem to be turning a hair at Mrs. Garrett's relentless onslaught.
It's almost as though he's used to it. What a gentle soul he is.
Oh, poor guy. It's actually Mr. Garrett in costume.
Hold it!
You just want to get this over with? How could you sit there and say something like that? And man's future's at stake here. Well, him and me both alike, like I said before. What? Told you already. I'm a day laborer, aren't I? Well, I'll bring home some Reddies with me tonight. You'll find me floating face down in the Thames tomorrow morning. What? You heard me. My missus isn't one to mess about. You know, she can be fierce, and believe me, another shining example of marital bliss, then. A situation like this cropped up the other day. It was, well, you know it's funny, but I can't quite remember it. Sorry. Too frightening, that's the thing. Blocked it out. Helpful.
I wonder if Mr. Beat will ever be dragged into the Thames by his scarf.
I hope not.
Is it Thames? How do you say that river again?
The River Thames?
It's the river. Is it Thames or Thames?
Once there was a bar. Followed it down.
Questions for Elijah later. Because I thought I'd heard Thames before, but it looks like Thames. I don't know.
Oh, there's a song I know. Oh, there's how you got. You got to lean backwards if you want to see the sky. Oh, the Thames may forgive us, but the all never will. So eyes front. Oh, the Thames may Thames. That's how they say it in the Bard's Ballad, which is a old sea shanty kind of deal. Oh, the Thames may forgive us, but the ball never will.
Yeah, oh, Thames. I never knew how it was spelt.
Yeah.
So.
Thames, Flames, Shames, Flames. I
Who knows?
I don't do the case, and the memory seeing the case was 5-6 years ago. Don't even go there, Mr. Sato. There must be some way to jog his memory about this. That's not what it actually sounds like.
Oh, nigga, we had a fire home a while ago. It gave me the sneezes.
Does that have anything to do with your decision about the defendant's culpability in this case?
You don't have to speak up, lad.
Could you tell us more about that fire?
It was last winter, my grandchild baking a lovely cake on his birthday.
I had 75
It had 75 candles on top of it. What a sight to behold it was.
Put candles on the cake? Was it some kind of devil worship?
Of course not. It was an angel cake. Celebrate my birthday, obviously.
It seems that's a common custom here in Great Britain, Mr. Naruhodo.
Anyway, I mustered all the puffs to blow them out. Only must have blown wrong somehow. The flames didn't go out, but the candles went flying all over the room. Furniture and everything caught up, fire went. The whole place was filled with smoke.
Definitely sounds like devil worship to me. And by sneezes, I presume you mean a cold. But how'd you catch a cold from the fire?
Well, the fiasco was the grandchildren, bless them, threw water over me to try to put out the flames. And as the whole room was filled with smoke, of course, we had to open all the windows to clear it. What a thing!
Windows?
Mighty winter air rushed over me like a devil dancing in the grave did. I got a terrible cold from it, put me in the hospital for a while. I won't forget that birthday in a hurry.
I knew it was devil worship all along. Something along the old man's story is playing on my mind for some reason.
And I need to demonstrate who, apart from Mr. Natsume, could have attacked the young woman on the street. As well as how he or she could have done it.
What if Mrs. Gerda just fucking, you know what to do? Yeah. What if Mrs. Gerda just fucking threw the knife out by accident and just stabbed her from distance? Yeah, but once again, the juror statements are all full of personal prejudice. A lot of them are convinced they're right, even in the face of logical arguments to the contrary.
I think you're going to need to pit them against each other to force them to accept an alternative explanation.
Yeah. I just need to find contradictions in their stations, just a connection might do the trick. Alright, I'll see what I can do. If anything stands out, I'll go in for a strike.
That's the spirit.
Objection.
Oh shit! Wrong person.
I'm sorry, but as foreman, jury has to object. This is complete nonsense.
What?
I'm a baker, don't forget, an educated man. There is no contradiction here as far as I can see. Where's all, Mr. Foreman? I'll permit the winston attack against the good members of the jury council.
I just didn't understand how to properly do it. Fuck off.
Objection.
These two jury statements are clearly contradict one another.
They do. Call jury council.
Don't point at me again. I told you it wasn't me.
What's that you say? Speak up, lad. Speak up.
Juror number 3, do you see? Oh, me? See what, sir? Did you hear what juror number 6's account of his birthday celebration last year? It seems, despite being a Londoner, he once opened his window in the middle of winter. Well, yes, of course, because it was an emergency. I mean, obviously, if the room was filled with smoke from a fire, then you'd be mad not to open the... Egad, if I had thought about this 10 seconds ago! Exactly. On the day in question, at the time of the incident, there was a fire in the Garadeb household, and Miss Garadeb had the following to say about it. The whole place was filled with smoke.
Oh, Mark. Excuse me.
Juror number 4, do you have something to say about that? A lot of tea. Mrs. Garadeb!
Oh, dearie me. What's the meaning of this? How dare you imply that I'm hiding who I really am?
It's imperative that you confirm something for the court. So please, it's time to drop the pretense now.
Oh, what is it?
When the fire started in your house that day, did you or your husband open the window?
Well, I beg your pardon. What are you insinuating?
The room would have been thick with smoke after the carpet and bookcase caught fire as they did. In a situation like that, it's inconceivable that you wouldn't have opened the window.
And what if we did? Oh, all right then. Yes, you're right. My husband was frantically trying to open the window. Why am I suddenly Irish? Can't have been easy, since I continued to give him a justly deserved book battering.
Even though your house is on fire.
Oh, you never stop throwing things until the anger subsides. It would be terribly bad for the nerves to do otherwise.
Of course, I should have realized.
That's a significant step forward, Mr. Naruhodo. You've managed to establish that the window was open. We simply must have that added to Mrs. Garadeb's formal statement. Now you mention it, yes, the window was open at the time. I'd clean forgotten, but it's true.
Press that. The fourth book found at the scene of the crime shows very obvious signs of fire damage. And the title of the book is The Lion's Pride. The same title, in fact, as the book Mr. Garadeb told us he'd been reading.
Well, I really couldn't say.
On the day in question, did you or did you not throw at your husband a copy of The Lion's Pride that he'd been reading?
I did.
There we go.
It was the first thing I could lay my hands on, so I hurled it straight at him. Now you come to mention it, yes. He was rather enjoying reading it, you're right.
Why did you not reveal this information to the court from the onset?
'Cause I couldn't, you insolent little man. I didn't remember. Times like that, you pick up and you throw whatever you can lay your hands on, as well as you know.
I really don't.
I barely noticed I was throwing a book, much less the title of it.
Excuse me.
What is it, juror number 5? You know something? I've remembered what it was. The memory I blocked out. It was listening to what this granny was saying and brought it all flooding back. Holy shit.
What are you calling a granny, you cheeky devil? I'm Mrs. Garadeb, or the maid, I'll have you know. Or the maid.
Or the maid. Just call me the maid. Jesus Christ. Yes, victims of, like, marital abuse. Let's get you guys together real quick. The man doesn't even flinch. Please tell me that's not because he's so used to being hit all the time. Thank you.
Yeah. Alright, this might be the other thing that I don't like about the case, but...
Two men being abused in their marriage. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Not great.
No, not great at all. It was about 2 weeks ago now. Just got back from home, work-like. I put my hand in my pocket for the wages I just earned, and I nearly died. There was a hole. Every last penny had dropped out. Oh dear, what a disaster. You haven't heard the half of it, boy. Oh? The wife was cutting up some chicken at the time. I could hardly get the words out, but I told her straight. I've lost a day's wages, love. Next thing I knew, the blade was, oh shit! Blade was whistling past my ear, stuck to a wall next to me, dead about an inch deep. No words, just terror. Same here, the reason I dislike this one, yeah. Smell it then, you know, the god-awful stench of the Thames. I was sure I was gonna end up face down that muddy bank, that's what I can tell you. Now, that's real disaster, isn't it? I'll never use the word lightly again. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, when the women lose their Freyak, they'll throw anything, knives, hatchets, hammers, you name it.
Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't think that all women are so short-tempered and unrefined.
I wasn't thinking that. Just these two.
Throwing household objects at people is, well, it's so uncivilized.
Okay, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
It's much better to flip them over your shoulder. At least attack with honor, using a bow or the like.
Yeah, literally Obi-Wan Kenobi here, okay. What? Attack? Who are you going to attack?
Never mind. Anyway, this man's words could be rather significant, I think.
Alright, I'll come back to the bow and arrow thing later if I dare.
Hold it!
Your wife really threw a kitchen knife at you, huh? That's right, she was chopping meat with it. Had a tiny edge on it, believe me. Still, it's all memories, isn't it? It started with that smile she threw me when we were courting. And since then, the list of things she's thrown at me has grown about. Oh my god, do not accept this. Y'all, do not accept actual abuse. Please don't. Please. Oh my god, know your worth as human beings, y'all. Man or woman or non-binary pal, do not allow your spouse or significant other to ever abuse you, y'all. There's a cup, then a glass, then a pot. Oh, Jesus Christ! A bathtub? Your wife must be beefier than you. And thanks to that's when she threw me right into the Thames. Oh, she's not so bad when she's calmed down. She's a little sweetheart, really. I'm so happy for her. You wanna know what I think? I think this whole idea of ladies first and we're going to assist this country was started by some clever lads who tossed it into the Thames a few more times for their wives. That's a very interesting theory.
What a terrible thought.
On the face of it, this juror's statement just sounds like a really extreme antidote. I think it might turn out to be an extremely powerful weapon. A weapon I might be able to use to make the jurors accept an alternative explanation here.
Objection!
These two statements clearly contradict each other. Oh, come on! He was saying it was a possibility, not that it was guaranteed open. Fuck off.
Objection!
Nah, I think I'll listen. These two statements clearly have a deep, significant connection. Oh, grief, you mean they don't contradict each other? Explain, Consul, at once. Juror number 2, do you think perhaps that this could be such a novel alternative?
Oh my, whatever do you mean?
An alternative explanation as to how the victim was stabbed in the back. What are you talking about? Demonstrated in the 4th book, the Lion's Pride was found at the scene of the crime. Originated from Mr. Garadeb's room on the top floor of his house. Therefore, it's equally possible that some other object besides the book could have been found its way from Mr. Garadeb's household to the street below. Yeah, what's that now? After all, Mrs. Garadeb could have thrown any number of different objects at her husband. Isn't that right, juror number 4?
What are you insinuating now, you little beanpole?
Beginning to think that ever since the true origins of the book came to light, or perhaps she had a feeling this might be what happened. Now listen here, you Eastern Blaha. As a former jury, I demand a straight answer. You give us the yarn about some other object making its way out of the household. But what? What was it? There's a big gamble here. What was the bold accusation to make? But man, I haven't even realized to back it up. But I'm certain that at the very least this warrants further investigation. Alright, Mr. Foreman, I'll try to explain the defense's theory. The other object found its way from Mr. Kennett's house to see the crime. The fucking knife.
Take that!
You're number 4. Mrs. Garrett.
What now?
I must apologize in advance for this. But I need you to confirm something else for me in the court. This knife. Have you ever seen this knife before?
Good Lord, Constable, what are you doing? That's the one watching the film's background.
My lord, remember that when the victim was attacked, Mr. and Mrs. Garrett were in the throes of an argument. Mrs. Garrett was hurling anything she could at her husband, who was backed up against a window that had been opened to clear the smoke, through which a book sailed through this crime scene.
You can't seriously believe that the book was found in the victim's grasp.
I say it flew out the window, across the street, and to the land, neatly in her hand.
Well, even my missus hasn't got aim like that.
Yes, I admit there are many details we don't understand, but that's the point. It's precisely why we must not allow this trial to end. Not right now.
Oh my.
Mrs. Garrett, your answer, please. Have you seen this knife before or not?
Oh, Oh!
Sounds like that's a yes. Phil, a knife! My lord! Oh.
I wish to change my decision. I'm a woman of my word after all.
Thank you, madame.
Yes, I agree.
I certainly didn't see this coming, but I don't think it would be right for this trial to come to an end now. So many unanswered questions. Mr. Foreman! Especially pick up the knife and fell. Oh, God.
I'd have to agree.
Now that I think that Granny didn't mind. Yes, you know what? I'm not quite happy about this at the moment either.
All together now, ladies and gents. We're all in this together.
We did it!
Oh, congratulations, Mr. Naruhodo.
Just pick up the book and the knife fell to the victim's back. That's exactly what I'm saying.
So, as a result of the rest of the summation examination, number of jurors leaning have changed. 2 jurors called guilty against 4 now calling innocent. Accordingly, the opinion of the court has been divided. The trial will continue.
Jesus! Whew. That was a fight and a half.
Well then, how does the prosecution wish to proceed?
I'd wish to go to the hospital for the aneurysm I'm having. This trial is rapidly descending into a farce.
At least he sipped it this time.
Yeah, at least he did do a little sippy sip. Like a corked wine, the first few sips are bitter enough. But what follows is so repugnant. It's good for nothing save the kata.
If I may, Lord Lindsay's, the defense has put forward a credible alternative explanation for what happened.
Credible? Is that your concerned opinion, Mr. Foreman? The defense's argument is a joke for which I barely know how to respond, but let me start by insisting that you must all familiarize yourself better with the relative positions of those places being discussed. What do you mean by that? What's this angle this time?
It should be more than apparent that between the crime scene and the Gertab household runs a rather wide street, Briar Road. Which means the distance from the Gertab's house and the scene is some, yes, 15 yards.
Let me see. 15 yards. That's around 14 meters.
14 meters? Oh, that's a little farther than I'd imagine. And as the ladies and gentlemen of the jury rightly noted as having important significance, the fourth book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, a smoldering book, once only hurled by the lady of the house, traveled some 15 yards to land on the opposite side of the road, neatly between the collapsed victim's fingers and thumb. Is that really your final conclusion, my learned and deluded friend? And did the jackknife follow the near identical trajectory to plunge into the middle of the victim's back? This fantasy is somewhat stretching the notion of having a bad day for the victim, I think. Even those pathetic, serialized detective stories have more believable plots. Screw Herlock Slopes! Ah! There's nothing I can say to that.
That prosecutor does love the sound of his own voice.
Of course I do. Have you heard it? It's glorious. Mr. Sato.
Serialized detective stories are pathetic, are they? How dare he?
Is that what you get mad about? Maybe let's pick our battles here.
My lord, might I be allowed to speak?
That's you may speak for the defense, yes. Go ahead.
Prosecution may consider the idea of fantasy. But what the defense has postulated was believable to persuade the jury to change its leaning. And as such, the court has a duty to explore this alternative explanation as thoroughly as possible. To that end, juror number 4, Miss Joan Gairded, must be called to testify and submit to cross-examination.
Thanks a lot. Cross-examination of the juror. Order! This is highly irregular. It's unprecedented for members of the jury to be summoned as a witness to stand.
Objection.
And unnecessary. Listen, search! There are already witnesses in the stand whose testimony the defense may further cross-examine. If my learned friend's partial theory has any truth in it, then both a burning book and a jackknife must have been flown through the sky before this couple's eyes. And we must assume they're able to testify accordingly. What say you, witnesses?
Yes, sir. Constable Rolly Beat reporting for duty, sir.
Well, good morning, officer.
Sorry for dozing until now, sir. I haven't slept for a month on account of the villain who's appeared on my beat, sir.
Oh, they are so heroic, these London bobbies.
Patricia, my darling, I've been neglecting you, but no more.
Oh, Rolly, my hero, you're making me swoon.
Well, hereby return the defense's request. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
All the witnesses stand to testify again. State forth the court with their details pertaining to the defense's alternative explanation of events.
Yes, sir.
Alright. That's where we'll leave off for today, guys. We have to head out a little bit early today. My apologies on that. I hope y'all had a fantastic time, because I know I certainly did. Let me press the G button. And save the button. Alright. So I want to say a big thank you to all you guys for hanging out with me today. I do sincerely appreciate it. I hope you had a fantastic time, because I know I certainly did. We are going to raid someone. We're going to raid someone. I'm not quite sure who yet. But I hear that Loki the Octor is having a fantastic debut today as a VTuber. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for hanging out with me today. We're gonna go raid Loki. They're debuting their VTuber model. So if you guys want, here's our raid message. Subscribe to me on YouTube. This will be up by tomorrow. And join the Discord. Anything to say there, Katie?
Stay safe and stay Botanist Cool.
And we'll see you next week for some more Ace Attorney.
Alrighty.
I forgot to set up the raid.
Oh.